Hey guys, welcome to another lesson with me. Today we're going to be talking about the Pythagorean Theorem and how we can apply it to word problems. Just some advice while you're doing word problems is that I would underline pertinent information in addition to drawing triangles, right triangles, particularly because they are telling you to use the Pythagorean Theorem to solve for these. They're quite simple if you're able to go ahead and imagine it and then apply it to a right triangle. So we're going to go and jump into problem number 2. So this is problem number 2. And I'm going to go ahead and read it to you guys. So number 2 says, the foot of the ladder is placed 6 feet from the wall, right? 6 feet from the wall. If the top of the ladder rests 8 feet above the wall, how long is the ladder? So we don't know how long the ladder is. What we do know is that there is a wall. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my wall right over here, right? And the wall, to make things easier, there is your ground. Okay, I'm drawing my ground right there. Note that the ground and the wall make a right angle to make things easier. And it says the foot of the ladder, basically the foot of the ladder is the bottom ladder, is placed 6 feet from the wall. So I'm going to go ahead, draw my ladder, right? Remember, I'm not the best drawer in the world, right? So the foot, that's your foot of the ladder, is going to be 6 feet from the wall. And the top of the ladder rests 8 feet above the wall. So that's going to go ahead and be 8. What they're asking you is how long is the ladder? So the ladder is going to be my x. So if you guys remembered in the Pythagorean theorem, that's a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. And what we talked about in the last lesson was that the two sides that form the right angle, those are always my legs. So that's going to be 6 squared plus 8 squared is equal to x squared. Remember, the x is the length of the ladder. I'm going to go ahead and solve for it. So I got 36 plus 64 is equal to x squared. That's 100 added together. And to finish this off, don't forget, you need to go ahead and square root both sides. So square root both sides. So the length of the ladder will be 10. So this is equal to 10. Right? They're that easy, okay? Just make sure you remember that there has to be a right angle somewhere, and that should be able to guide you how to go ahead and do these problems. All right, let's try problem number 4. All right, so I got number 4. So number 4 says, John leaves school to go home. He walks 6 blocks north and then 8 blocks west. How far is John from the school? So just for some visual reference, I have north, south, west, east, right over here. So John leaves school to go home. He walks 6 blocks north. So he is going up 6 blocks. And then he ends up going 8 blocks. Right? 8 blocks. So how far is he from the school? So this was your school and this is your home. And what they want to know is what's the distance from here to here? You're probably thinking right now, these numbers look familiar. They do, right? But I just want you guys to see how you're going to go ahead and draw these figures. There is a right angle because when you go from north to west, there is a sharp turn. And what our goal is to do is solve for x. So again, our two sides that form the right angle, those are my a and b. So that's going to be 8 squared plus 6 squared is equal to x squared. That's 64 plus 36 is equal to x squared. 100 is equal to x squared. So the distance from the school to John's home is going to be 10. As simple as that. All right, cool. Let's try to do another problem, right, with different numbers. Right? Let's go to number 8. Number 8. So number 8 says, what is the length of the diagonal of a 10 centimeter by 15 centimeter rectangle. So I have a rectangle whose dimensions are going to be 15 by 10, right? Doesn't matter which one. But what they're asking you is, what is the diagonal? So just for reference right over here, this is my diagonal. All right, let's do the same thing. Use what you know about rectangles. You know a rectangle has 4 right angles. So we're just trying to go ahead and apply the Pythagorean theorem to this triangle, because that should be, there should be enough information to find the diagonal. So that'll be 10 squared plus 15 squared is equal to, let's call this x because we don't know the diagonal, x squared. So when I add them together, that's going to be 100 plus 225 is equal to x squared. All right, again, you can use your calculator. Highly recommend you use your calculator for this. So I'm going to add the terms on the left side. That's x squared. And then to finish it off, you're going to square root it. And for these word problems, don't worry about radical form. Go straight into using your calculator, get a decimal. So when I put that into my calculator, the length of my diagonal is going to be 18.3. For the quiz that's coming up later, you're going to go ahead and round based off of what the question is telling you. You don't need to ask me, hey, can I do tenths or hundreds? Whatever the quiz directions tells you to do, just follow it. All right, let's do one last one to help you guys out. Let's go ahead and do problem number 11. So number 11, it says a baseball diamond is a square with sides of 90 feet. So let's just pause right there to draw our figure. So it's a square that's tilted, and each corner, since it's a square, is a right angle. And it says that each side is 90. Running the bases. All right, sorry about that. Forgot to write number 11 for that one. And then what is the shortest distance to the nearest tenth? So that means 1 decimal place, all right, to the nearest tenth between first and third. So just for reference, that's my home, that's first, that's second, and then that's third base. So they're asking you what the distance between first and third is. So what's the distance going from here to here? So if you don't notice, they're asking you this distance, so let's represent that as x. And you can use top or bottom, doesn't matter, but I'm just gonna use the bottom one. Note that there is a right triangle right there. And the 2 sides that create that right angle on the very bottom, those are my legs. So that's gonna go ahead and be 90 squared plus 90 squared is equal to x squared, which is the distance between first and third base. Let's go ahead and solve it. So I'm going to have 8100 plus 8100. And then when I go ahead and add 8100 together, that's going to be 16,200 is equal to x squared. And then we're not done. Let me go ahead and slide this down a little bit. Square root both sides to find the distance between first and third. So that means that the distance between first and third is 127.3. I rounded to 0.3 instead of 0.2 because they said to the nearest 10. All right. So if you noticed, every single problem that I did with you guys, there was a figure to accompany each problem. So make sure you guys do that as an effort to show me that you know how to do the problem and that you are providing me work. All right, guys, take care.